The conflict is not a straightforward one between the followers of the ousted president and the police of the interim government. Some of the gangs are criminals fighting each other for turf. At night, shots can be heard coming from the two most notorious shanty towns, Bel Air and Cité Soleil. In the daytime, it's back to business as usual. Things look normal in the city centre. It almost feels safe, until, that is, you enter Bel Air, a densely populated Aristide stronghold. Empty streets and silence.
The main thing here is the lack of noise and cars. In fact, when there is a car, they think it's the police, and they're always afraid, because only the police come here.
Olivia Géraud is a nurse by profession, but here in Port-au-Prince, she is the interface between the often suspicious people of the shantytowns and MSF. Nearly everyone here says the enemy they fear most is the police of the interim government. They say they behave like any criminal gang. This woman says her husband was shot dead by the police the day before.
3 men in black, one with a mask, the other 2 without, came and asked how many people were living here. I said, it's me and my children only. So the man in black put his hand on my child's head and said, "Little bandit, I'm going to kill your dad and you'll stay without a father. You will replace him, no problem. Next week we will kill you." I said nothing. He pushed me in the back and said, "Let's go." So my husband came out and said, "I'm the father of the children." They put a gun to his throat. They told me, "You said there was nobody in the house." And they also put a gun to my throat. They told my husband, "Run, run." He looked at me. Then another man with a mask came, and they shot at my husband. He fell. Then they finished him off with bullets. I got a shot in the leg too, and I fell. One of the masked men jumped on my leg.
You see young people of 20 with rotting limbs, who have gunshot wounds and who need an amputation, who refuse to come out because they're afraid, who prefer to stay at home in their beds, to suffer and die, and that's very tough.
Rester chez eux, dans leur lit, et souffrir et mourir. Et ça, c'est très difficile.
In Port-au-Prince, especially in Cité Soleil, the UN is also caught up in the cross-currents of urban warfare. It's difficult to tell one faction apart from another. In the pro-Aristide quarters, the Brazilian UN contingent is not seen as impartial. For Ali Beznachi, a Frenchman and an MSF veteran, this mission beats them all. He's caught bang in the middle of all the faction fighting. The presence of the film crew is yet one more headache he doesn't need. He makes it very clear. MSF keeps its distance from the UN troops, and so should the film crew while it films with them.
Ils sont considérés comme des combattants, et donc d'être à proximité est une source de danger pour nous.
They are fighters, and being near them is a source of danger for us. There were incidents in June with Red Cross workers who were caught in the crossfire, who were then arrested by the UN forces. They were beaten, they were imprisoned for several hours. So we want to avoid any confusion. We have nothing to do with any armed groups, and the UN is part of the armed factions.
On veut éviter la confusion et on n'a rien à voir avec les groupes armés. Ils font partie des acteurs armés.
The film crew adhered to the mission head's injunction, but later the UN was asked for a response to this criticism. No reply has been received. That day, the police came to St. Joseph's. They knew that only the gravely wounded would risk going to the MSF hospital. It's an ideal place to locate their quarry. There were long and heated discussions. The police refused to be interviewed or filmed. MSF was refusing entrance to the hospital without an arrest warrant. But the police forced their way in and arrested a man. Nobody knew if he was the one they'd come for, but a local human rights organisation called Carly was contacted by MSF to keep track of him. They said it was the only safeguard against a summary execution.
There is a legal framework, laws, constitution, a criminal code, a criminal procedure, and then the police ethics code. If all that was respected, there wouldn't be a problem. But they don't respect it. They want to come in whenever they want. They suspect everybody, children, women, everybody, and that's just not possible.